Storm chances are increasing for the Florida Peninsula. What's going on, guys? I'm certified meteorologist Jonathan Kagas, and in this video, we're going to take a look at the slightly increasing storm chances for Central Florida, and a little bit later on in this video, we're going to look at the Florida Peninsula as a whole, give you the statewide Florida forecast as well, and we are really going to see those storm chances increase for South Florida getting into Wednesday and beyond. A lot of rain coming your way, so we're going to break that down for you. First, though, we are going to start with Central Florida. Here we go at 5 o'clock, and I'm going to have chapters in this video where you can kind of scrub across if you want to get to that Florida forecast first. But we're starting with Central Florida, and you see here where we have the storm starting to bubble up. This is going to be late in the day on Tuesday. That is 9 or 10 o'clock, and if you do find this content helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It does help us out a lot. And if you'd like to stay updated on all things Florida weather and, of course, the tropics, you have to hit subscribe. So that's 10 o'clock. Little flare up here, a few little thunderstorms. Most of us are going to be dry for the remainder of Tuesday. It's once we get into Wednesday that we really start to see rain chances go up a little bit now, especially for South Florida. But into Central Florida, we're going to start to see that too. There's 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, June 7th. Most of us are going to be dry. You see the extra clouds in white, though, as we start the day. I think we'll kind of see those fizzle out to make way for some sunshine as we go through the morning. Now, once we get to lunchtime, a couple little showers try to sneak on shore from the Gulf of Mexico, and then you see that flare up. Still not everybody getting rain on Wednesday, but rain chances do go up a little bit. They're certainly higher than what we saw on Monday and what we'll see on Tuesday. That is 4 o'clock, and then we'll see those kind of push off. You saw that last little flare up there right along the East Coast late in the day. Again, that was going to be after 8, 9 o'clock. That if you're out late, maybe getting some ice cream or something, or just hanging out on the beach in Daytona, Palm Coast, Flagler Beach, you might end up having to take things inside with a stray storm coming down the pipeline. So we're going to watch that. Highs on Wednesday. We're starting to really crank up the thermostat, and this is going to be the theme going forward, not only for the rest of getting into Wednesday, but really for Thursday, Friday, and the weekend. We could see our hottest period, our hottest stretch so far this season, as we're really going to try to crank up the thermostat into the low to mid-90s by the time we get to the weekend. But in terms of Wednesday, you see it there, a little bit cooler as usual, right along the coast. Temperatures back to the mid to upper 80s. And then we're talking lower 90s in Sanford, lower 90s in Orlando, Apopka, Zellwood, Eustis. Upper 80s for us. Into Mount Dora, Leesburg, we're going to be in the upper 80s as well. Ocala through Denellen, we're talking upper 80s to right around 90 degrees. And then into Kissimmee, St. Cloud, Point Siena, Yeehaw Junction, right around 90 degrees. So we are talking about the heat coming back. Again, it's been humid these last few days, but we haven't really had the blazing hot temperatures. I mean, it's been hot, don't get me wrong. But now we're really going to see the blazing heat, what Florida is known for this time of the year. All right, as promised, I always like to give a statewide view. If you're tuning in from Miami or Tampa or Jacksonville, or you have plans to travel, of course, it's a great state to do that. Here we go, and you're going to clearly see what happens. So this is going to be Tuesday, June 6th in the evening. Notice where all the storm activity is, closer to southwest Florida, closer to the Everglades, and then right off the southeast Florida coast. What I really want to focus on, though, is the increase of storms on Wednesday. Notice we're still dry towards Pensacola, Port St. Joe. We have a couple of storms out at sea by that 8 to 9 o'clock time frame. Look at all this mess. And this is as a result because of a disturbance that's moving off the Yucatan Peninsula. If you want to have more on a tropical update, I will include the link to that video in the description here. It's a long video about the flood threat going on in the Caribbean, so you can click on that. That takes us to our only weather page, or we just post weather content. But anyway, going off on a tangent here. There is where we have the storms really increasing, and then you see the very heavy rainfall that it's moving towards Fort Pierce, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Key West, into the upper Keys as well. Look at all of that heavy rain. That continues for us through a lot of Wednesday. Before we quiet things down, we will do it all again on Thursday, especially as we generate a little more instability with the heating of the day. In terms of the temperatures, we get things started off muggy in Orlando on Wednesday morning. That's 71 in Orlando, 74 in Miami. Look at that, starting in the 80s in Key West. Tallahassee, we're going to get started in the 60s. That's going to be one of our cool spots of the morning. And then as we go forward into the afternoon, we're talking temperatures by lunchtime in the upper 70s and lower 80s. And then again, really in Central Florida, that is where the heat is going to build, and especially in interior Central Florida. We're pushing 90 in Orlando on Wednesday, same in Tallahassee. A little bit cooler down here. Notice these yellow colors. That is because our air is going to be rain cooled. Now, it's not going to be cool. It's still going to be really, really humid, under the influence of that tropical air mass. But from a thermometer perspective anyway, it's not going to be allowed to get that hot because of the extra clouds and rain. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you liked this video, share it with your friends. Certainly, if you found this content helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help us out a lot. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we will catch you next time.